So, Lil Yachty has just released the sequel to his Lil Boat mixtape, but is it good? That's the question we're going to be answering today. I actually kind of enjoyed the first Lil Boat mixtape and got a little bit of enjoyment out of it. You know, it was quite entertaining, it was quite fun. So does this one hold up or even excel past the first one? Well, this is CDTVProductions. Let's talk about this album.
That's cap. Talking online, you get pap. My young nigga keep a scrap. Draw with the scrap on his lap. For posting up in the trap.
Seeing as this is a sequel album, I might as well start off by telling you guys why I like the first Lil Boat mixtape. I appreciate that Yachty brought a bit of a unique sound on there. He had this kind of goofy charm, and he was making music over these fun, playful beats. Like, no matter what you think of him, he did have a distinctive sound and was different to a degree. That is what made his music stand out to me. I also kind of enjoyed his auto-tune singing tracks, which there was quite a few of on Lil Boat. Basically, the type of Yachty I usually like is the
"fuck them kids, bro"
Yachty. And there is barely any of that on here. The only track that really reminded me of Lil Boat 1 on this was She Ready, which is a good track, and maybe also Love Me Forever, which is super average. And 80% of the remaining tracks are insanely uninteresting. It genuinely surprised me. Like, what is Yachty doing here? On this tape, in my opinion, he loses everything that made him an interesting character in the first place. He substituted the goofy singing, which was quite quirky and fun, for this low-key style of rapping that it sounds like anyone else could pull off better. I mean, what makes that even worse, what makes it stand out even more, is that across this whole tape, or on a lot of the tracks at least, he just sounds so timid.
Nigga, why does everything you say sound so soft?
Hey mama, I did it!
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, you can't rap about flexing on people and trying to sound hard when your vocal tone sounds as if you're scared that your parents are gonna find out you're cursing in a rap song.
Spent 160, that's 2 watches. Goddamn, think I need a new hobby. Bought a chain, could've bought a Bugatti. Niggas dig riding with a Ducati.
Yachty does rap with confidence occasionally on tracks such as Pop Out, but that's one of many tracks on here where he doesn't rap with any confidence at all. I mean, it sounds kind of like 21 Savage if his voice hadn't broken yet and he was nervous to be rapping. Not to mention, he still has a few songs where his flow doesn't even sound that great, which is an issue I have a lot when Yachty raps. On songs like Talk to Me Nice and the pre-hook of Oops, his flow sounds so damn clumsy, it's actually sort of cringy to listen to.
Never need nothing, nigga. Now y'all diamonds like the rapper of a butterfinger. Hit him, then my brother follow up, that's a double stinger. Told the bitch true, she run around like a jet springer. It could be opera singer, 2 speeding tickets in the...
Sometimes it just feels like Yachty thinks that not pausing for a breath makes for a good flow, and it definitely can do, but you really have to think about if it actually sits on the beat well. On those songs I mentioned, it doesn't. I will say that his flow has improved if you take it as a whole though. Like, he flows good on songs such as Count Me In and NBAYoungBoat, but it's not like he flows well enough to save the project. And whilst the beats are just fine in terms of how they're produced, except for maybe Count Me In, which sounds like the instrumental for Magnolia had a less mentally capable cousin, these beats are just so clearly not Yachty's style, and I wish he would stop rapping over these beats that sound like they're more suited to the Migos. See, when Yachty rapped in the past, or even on the first Lil Boat mixtape, he would use these instrumentals that were still bright and vibrant. They would still have this kind of summery, nice, upbeat feel to it, but on this tape, he opts for these more for like a mixture of menacing or gloomy beats, and it really takes away what made his music so unique, what gave him his own personality in the first place. His voice is just not made for dark bangers. It's not. I mean, sure, he still has some like funny lines, some lines that make me smile, but the tone is so off. It just, there's no fun to be had when it's over these dark beats. Now, the intro and outro tracks do have a lighter tone to them, but the problem is that they're just not that great either. It's kind of hard to talk about what I do like on this album because I just fundamentally don't like what is on here. I feel like it sounds so fake and forced. Basically, if you like what Lil Yachty did on the Quality Controlled compilation tape, the rapping he did on there, you'll like this. I didn't like what he did on there, so if you also didn't like what he did on there, I'll save you 45 minutes and tell you what you should listen to from this project. You should check out 2 Chainz verse on Oops, Tee Grizzley on Get Money Bros, She Ready, NBAYoungBoat, which is a fun enough track, even though I felt kind of like NBAYoungBoy sounded a lot like a more energetic version of Quavo on there. At some points I genuinely thought, wait, is Quavo also on this track? And surprisingly, Lil Pump's verse on Baby Daddy was energetic enough to stand out as a bit of a highlight from this mostly dreary and slow tape. That's pretty much it. And notice that I said you should check out most of those tracks because of the features, not Yachty himself. Like, this is not good. If it sounds like I'm struggling to talk about the positives of this album, it's because I genuinely don't see many. Maybe you like this style of rapping from Yachty. I personally can't stand it, for all the reasons I've given throughout this video. There's barely any redeeming qualities to it, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I actually think I enjoyed Teenage Emotions more than this. At least Yachty sounded like himself on Teenage Emotions. I'm gonna have to give Lil Boat 2 by Lil Yachty a 2.3 out of 10. This might be the worst album that I've heard all year. I didn't think Yachty could go lower than Teenage Emotions, but he's managed it with this for me. So what did you guys think of this album? Did you think it was as bad as I thought it was? Like, I've never... I don't know, it's been a long time since I've felt this strongly about an album being bad. It's been a while since that has happened. Let me know in the comments below if you dislike it as much as I do. Let me know if you like it in the comments, what you liked about it, and all that kind of stuff. You can, of course, follow me on Instagram under the name CDTVProductions, and yes, I will have a review for Bobby Tarantino 2 coming up soon. It's just that this album, you know, unofficially came out before Bobby Tarantino 2 did, so I had more time to work on this. So yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next one, and this is CDTV Productions, signing out.